Rugby Roots is brought to you by Compede Melbourne Nomad Sevens. Visit the top link in the description for more information. Welcome to Rugby Roots, the show in which we discover where our favourite players found their love for the game. This episode, I am joined by the Exeter Chiefs second rower, Sam Skinner. Hello, Sam. How are you?
I'm very well, thanks. How you doing?
Not too bad. Let's jump right into things. Talk me through your first taste in rugby and where you first started playing.
So I was brought up down here in Exeter, and I played for a local club called Topsham. I think my dad probably took me along when I was about 4 or 5 years old, which is pretty young, and just played. It wasn't tag rugby; it was just touch rugby. So I just started playing there. Played all the way up to under 18s, Colts, and then went on from there really.
You've had your fair share of uni rugby at Exeter University. How beneficial do you think it is? How beneficial do you think uni rugby is, where you can play the sport that you love whilst also getting a further education simultaneously?
Yeah, it was brilliant for me. I developed late, so it gave me room to grow really. Put on a bit of size. So I went there when I was 19, and probably when I was about 22 when I left, I was Premiership size ready really. But it took a good 3 years just to build gradually and get myself up to that level.
You started to climb the ranks in Exeter and impressed in your first start against Wasps in 2017, where the Daily Telegraph described it as the performance of the weekend. Would you mind describing that game and your debut start?
What against Fiji?
No, against Wasps for Exeter.
Oh, that one. Oh, that game. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, that was awesome. That was my. I was pretty nervous going into that. I'd had a few bench appearances at the start of the season. I think that might have been like the fifth game of the league, so waited for my start, and it was an awesome game to be part of. The team played well, which really helped me, and I was given a platform to play well. Really, God, that's ages ago. I can't even really remember it. I'm trying to remember what happened in the game, but yeah, it was. Yeah, it was great. I remember being sick before the game. I was that nervous, and yeah, obviously it went well. So we're pretty lucky with Chiefs. They give you every opportunity to play well. Really, you just got to do your role, and if you do half a job, you do all right.
Hopefully, a game that you remember a bit more is that final that season. You came on at Twickenham in a final loss.
Oh, yeah.
How much of a bittersweet moment was that to walk out in front of thousands at the home of rugby, but only to lose in arguably agonising fashion?
Yeah, that was a tough loss. We probably weren't. We didn't really compete as well as we'd like to in that final. The most recent final, obviously, was more disappointing to lose because we had the game in our hands. Whereas that was my first one, and we came back and gave ourselves a shout, but it was a bit too late, too little, too late, really. So it was obviously a great season for us. It was a sweet moment for me because I'd broken into the first team. Obviously, playing in a Premiership final at Twickenham's an awesome experience, and the family were there, so it's fantastic. But yeah, obviously gutted with the loss, and it was disappointing to lose to what was a very good Saracen side, and it spurred us on for the next few seasons, but we're still waiting to get over that white line against them, really.
Moving back a bit, in 2015, you were part of the England under-20s World Championship squad. It was an amazing squad full of talent, which have now shot up through Premiership rugby. How beneficial was that experience to your career?
Yeah, it was a good platform for me. I didn't play any age group rank. I didn't even play Devon, my county. I didn't even play any of that. I didn't play any England under 16s. Nothing. No Southwest. Nothing. So I sort of got thrown in last minute, which wasn't easy because a lot of the other boys had been up through the ranks and had already created their sort of friendships. So it was a good opportunity to meet some new boys and sort of just try and learn as much as I could really. They obviously were all used to the system, and I was sort of learning as I went. So it was a lot to take on, and I loved the experience and learned a lot from it. There were a lot of challenges with it, but it was really good for me for my career. Learning from other boys from different clubs, making friends for life as well, of course. And I think we would have been nice to finish winning the World Cup, but we didn't, unfortunately, to a strong New Zealand side. But yeah, it's pretty special being given the opportunity to play in that sort of setup, that professional environment. Gives you a taste away from, a lot of the guys will be at their local clubs, and that's all you tend to know when you play for the clubs. But to go and play for an international side and learn a different setup, it's really good. So you just try and absorb as much as you can, really.
You were eligible for Scotland through your dad. What provoked that decision to switch to Scotland and become a Scotland international?
So growing up supporting Scotland and England from a young age, really. Whenever they played each other, I was just a neutral supporter. Obviously, my accent suggests I'm more biased towards England, but I've grown up 50-50 really. And when England 20s came along, I didn't get offered from Scotland under 20s, but it made sense to me to play for England under 20s based on the EQP system. It meant I still stayed with the Chiefs, and it gave me the best opportunity to play at the top level, and I knew that going in from the start. And when it came round to it, I think I got a few phone calls from Gregor, and I was blown away. I've always grown up supporting Scotland, and to get the opportunity to play for them was a dream come true, really. Very special. Obviously, accepting the offer to play for Scotland, and I've not really looked back since. It was probably the best decision I've ever made in my life, and I've loved it. I really enjoyed it.
You seem to really like performing well on debuts. A man of the match performance versus Fiji at Murrayfield. What was that like?
Yeah, I was pretty nervous with that one as well. I was a bit going into that because obviously this ex-England under-20s player now playing for Scotland. I wanted to prove myself. I wanted to prove myself to my teammates at Scotland most of all, and of course to the nation. I wanted to stand up and be like, "This is why I'm here." So I was extremely nervous, and I had no. You play for a side like Exeter, and everything's pretty well organised. Everything's set up, and you've trained with them for 5 years, so you know exactly what's required of you. But you go up to a Scotland camp, or even if you're in an England camp, and you get about 2 weeks before the first game, so you've got to get your head around how the team's playing. And it was a different style of rugby, and I don't know. I obviously worked hard and you ended luck, but I think the ball just bounced my way that day, and I was desperate to play as well as I could, and it just went my way. And it's probably one of the best days of my life, if not the best day of my life, to be honest, just because of the emotion after the game. My family, it was a stressful period before that because it was a big decision. It affected my life, my career. There were external people making comments, and I just felt like so it was a real nice way to finish off that period, and now to sort of as a solid platform for me to start my sort of career with Scotland. And yeah, it was a special day, a real special day.
And finally, any tips you've got for any young rugby players watching who want to reach the highest level that they possibly can?
That's a good question. I think obviously everyone's different, so there's not one tip that's important. And obviously you've got to work hard. For me, I can only speak from my personal experience, but I played a lot of different positions. Even when I was 18, I was playing fly half. Size makes a massive impact in the game, and unfortunately it's becoming a really important figure in today's game because it's such a physical game. But for me, the most important thing is to work on is your skill set. Work on your skills. I developed late, so I had to rely on my skills as a young age. When I got bigger, they were sort of just good enough to play in the Prem, really. But I'd say work on your skill set, play different positions. When you were 12, 13, 14, I played forwards for school and backs for my club. So you test yourself, play in different positions and work on different skills. And not only that, don't just play rugby, play other sports. You can learn a lot from other games that can contribute to rugby as well. So if it is rugby you want to go into and make your professional career out of, there are a lot of gains you can get from other sports. So trying to broaden your skills assets, really, I think is the big key one going forward.
Well, thank you so much for joining me, Sam. It's been great to speak to you and hear about your rugby roots. Thank you so much for coming on.
You're very welcome. Thanks for having me.
Thanks again to Compede Melbourne Nomad Sevens for sponsoring this video. Make sure you check out those socials which are on screen right now. And thank you to you for watching. Make sure you check out @YoungRugby on Instagram for everything Young Rugby, and we'll hope to catch you soon. Bye bye.